am vengeance. I am the night. I am Edward. Meow, handsome. I'm Bella. I mean, surprised they didn't cast Kristen Stewart as Catwoman. I mean, or Taylor Lautner as Robin. Maybe they would have done had Ben Affleck gotten to direct the Batman. Boy, do I miss Batflick. The Batman, not the animated TV show, I mean the live-action movie. Directed by Matt Reeves, director of the two best Planet of the Apes movies, Dawn and War for the Planet of the Apes, and is the 2022 reboot of Batman, and is the first solo Batman movie in 5 years since the Lego Batman movie, as well as the first live-action solo Batman movie since Dark Knight Rises. Cannot believe it's been literally that long. So the Batman tells the story of Batman played by Robert Pattinson, who is still very much in his youth and newer to becoming the Caped Crusader, and only Gordon on the Gotham Force trusts and respects him. And when the creepy ass Riddler, played by Paul Dano, commits a series of murders throughout Gotham and leads a ton of riddles for Batman to solve. Only Batman and Gordon can save Gotham together, and Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, gets caught up in all this. I was so very lucky that this was the first movie that I saw on the big screen in 2022. Yes, my carers very kindly took me to see this movie yesterday at Cineworld, and it was a super fun day, and they even had Batman mugs at that cinema. I was tempted to but buy one, but didn't in the end. But this was for the vast majority the most anticipated movie of the year, as we were all ecstatic to be finally getting a Batman movie after donkey's years of waiting, and with Matt Reeves's directing, I mean, that only increased our optimism, as Matt Reeves is one of the legit greatest filmmakers of all time, no exaggeration, though I mean, I've still yet to see him make a movie that will top War for the Planet of the Apes, but only time will tell. And the DC fandom trailer, I admit, everybody was just gushing that trailer, with Love calling it the best trailer of 2020, but my reaction was just like, just looks like another Batman movie, really pretty generic, but I was always going to give the movie and Robert Pattinson a chance in the role, and I've never seen a Batman movie in more development hell than this. It was, of course, it was postponed due to the COVID pandemic mainly. Then sadly, Pattinson himself caught COVID, so they had to postpone filming until he recovered. But after multiple delays, we at long last have this movie, and is the Batman movie the greatest Batman movie of all time, as everybody's saying? I can honestly say no, it isn't. Sorry, but I mean, I still think the Batman is a perfectly decent Batman movie. I mean, but I think those that call it, the most perfect Batman movie since the Dark Knight trilogy, I mean, I just think that's being a little generous to it. But that's awesome if you do think that. I'm just not in that camp. Personally, I don't see it. Just like I thought Spider-Man No Way Home was the most overhyped Spider-Man movie. This is to me the most overhyped Batman movie, but man was it good to see the Knight of Gotham on the big screen once again, and boy is there a ton to love in the Batman, and Matt Reeves, you can see, tried to make the Batman his own and make the best Batman movie he could. I mean, so about the elephant in the room, Robert Pattinson, the Twilight boy himself, as a Bruce Wayne / Batman. Well, just like the naysayers regresses slamming Daniel Craig being cast as James Bond, now they are calling all criticisms against Robert Pattinson total bullcrap, and he even proved me wrong. Pattinson, while still not my absolute favourite Batman, is a great Batman. When he's Batman, that is. When he's Bruce Wayne, on the other hand, he's a bland Bruce Wayne. When he plays Bruce Wayne, he always has this bored expression on his face, and he looks way too emo to be Bruce Wayne. But as Batman, oh, he kicks freaking ass, and I just adore his suit. And plus, he nails the classic Batman growly voice, which Christian Bale masters during his time as the Caped Crusader. And I mean, thank goodness we get far more Batman in this movie than Bruce Wayne. Whereas the Nolan trilogy focused more on the Bruce Wayne aspects. Yeah, and this is the ultimate detective Batman movie for those fans who have been longing for it. And Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon may now be my favourite Gordon ever. Sorry, Gary Oldman, but yeah, Jeffrey Wright was the scene stealer for me, and Gordon is one of the true heroes of this movie, as he's the one on the Gotham Force that stands up to the others and says, you know, trust Batman, you know, he's the best hope we have, give him a chance. And when all the other officers are giving him shit. And the Riddler is the perfect antagonist for a detective-based Batman movie. And Paul Dano's Riddler, such a amazing villain. I mean, he had me terrified out of my fucking skin whenever he would, you know, do send a video to Batman in his mask and leave a rizzle and give a hint of who his next victim would be. He is 100% a better Riddler than Jim Carrey's cheesy ass Riddler in Batman Forever. Finally, we actually got the Riddler done right in a movie. If they can do the Riddler justice, fingers crossed they'll do the villains from Batman and Robin justice, like Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, and Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle / Catwoman. I have to say, Cat got my tongue. She is one of the better Catwomans. I mean, of course, she's no Michelle Pfeiffer. Nobody can replace Michelle Pfeiffer. I am still puzzled that people are calling her better than Michelle Pfeiffer. I strongly disagree. But she was slick and stunning in the role and was involved in Batman's storyline a lot more than I predicted she would be. I mean, for the most part, her costume looked terrific, all except for her mask. I think her mask looked cheap as hell. She just took a black woolly hat and cut out some eyes for her. Why couldn't she have had a proper cat mask like all the other Catwomans? Though her backstory and her emotional storyline, I was not the biggest fan of. I found it to be a way too cliched revenge story where she wants a revenge on Falcone because of what happened to her mum and her best friend. And get this, Falcone is her father. What the fuck is that twist? Hated that twist. Falcone has never been Catwoman's dad before in any other rendition of Batman. That was just shoehorned in, and it should have been Catwoman that killed Falcone at the end, not Penguin. I mean, so she never got to avenge her mum or her best friend in the end. Her revenge quest amounted to nothing, and Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Admittedly, Colin Farrell does do some expert chameleon-like acting where you have no idea that that is Colin Farrell underneath the makeup and his voice that he puts on for Penguin. But as the Penguin, he was so weak. I mean, he's not even close to Danny DeVito. I mean, Danny DeVito was terrifying as fuck. And Danny DeVito's Penguin had way more complexity to him. I mean, Colin Farrell's a Penguin who, and I hated that they call him Oz, and he was just pathetic. I felt zero tension whenever Batman interacted with him. Plus, he's wasted. He gets like 10 minutes of screen time, so why is he even in the movie? Though it is cool that Lisa Lestrange and Graves from Fantastic Beasts are in a Batman movie. Andy Serkis is admirable as Alfred. I mean, this is the second time that Andy Serkis and Matt Reeves have worked on a movie together, so they know each other well, and it is fresh to have Andy Serkis not doing a motion capture role for once, though I mean, why did they have to hospitalize Alfred just like they did in Batman and Robin? They didn't need to do that again. I predict the Joker's going to be the main antagonist of the sequel, as they do tease him talking with the Riddler in Arkham Asylum in one of the final scenes, but the Joker's getting old at this point. Couldn't they have, Clayface be the villain for a change? For Michael Giacchino's score is utterly mesmerizing. Loved hearing Michael Giacchino finally get to score a Batman movie, and this it ain't a kids movie. It is the darkest and grimmest Batman movie yet, even more so than the Dark Knight trilogy, rated 15 for good reasons. In my screening, there was only a few other people. It was nearly empty, and there were no kids, and I can see why. And thank you, Matt Reeves, to not resorting to CGI to make this movie look breathtaking. I mean, yes, the practical effects and the design of Gotham are top freaking notch from the team at Warner Brothers and DC. But here's the biggest drawback with this movie. It is way, way, way too long. I mean, words can't express how long this movie felt watching it in the cinema. I have never felt a Batman movie feel as long as this. I mean, in the first half, it was fine, but in towards the second half, I was beginning to feel the extraneous runtime and pacing. I mean, I was beginning to doze off in my chair. It's at least 45 minutes too long. Those who actually defend this movie's 3-hour runtime, or what? I don't get it. I mean, 2 hours and 15 minutes would have been just the right length for me. I mean, cut out everything with the Penguin and just focus on, Catwoman and the Riddler, and that would have been fine. And the action in this movie surprisingly underwhelmed me. I think it needed a lot more action. I mean, I've rarely seen a lack of fight scenes in a Batman movie. Yes, it's more focused on the detective part, but that doesn't mean you needed to, tone down the fight scenes. I mean, the car chase with the Penguin is maybe the best action scene in the movie, and the climax, I guess, is not bad when Batman does lead the people of Gotham to safety from the floods. Though it's not much of a final battle, because the Riddler is in custody, I would have preferred the Riddler to have broken out of jail and confront Batman in a one-on-one showdown, and they kept constantly teasing that Batman was going to die in the climax, but when we know he isn't. So overall, the Batman is nowhere near the best Batman movie as everybody is hyping it up to be, but it is still a a good Batman movie at most. And it goes to show you should not be so quick to judge a Robert Pattinson. I mean, after Twilight, he has gone on to be a remarkable actor, especially in The Lighthouse in 2019. I mean, I kind of wish Kristen Stewart went on to play Catwoman, but oh well, she's gone on to do much better things too. And comparing it to the other Batman movies, obviously superior to the Joel Schumacher and Adam West movies. It's nowhere near on the same level as the Tim Burton or Christopher Nolan movies. I even preferred a Batman vs Superman and Lego Batman movie to this. So I'd maybe rank this in the middle of my Batman ranking.
I give The Batman 3 stars out of 5. Good movie.
So yeah, I know you all just want to lock me up in Arkham Asylum for not praising this movie to be the masterpiece of 2022, but I just have well different tastes in Batman movies. So well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on The Batman? Are you with me and think it's the most overrated Batman movie, or are you with the majority and think it's the best Batman movie since the Dark Knight trilogy? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I review my most anticipated movie of 2022 by a long shot, Turning Red. I cannot fucking wait to watch that movie tomorrow. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.